passionate about Cleveland sports.
He's going in, touchdown!
Browns, Indians, Cavs, the Big Ten, and more.
Cleveland is a city of champions once again!
Andy and Jarid, Cleveland and beyond.
Swinging it line! To deep right!
Here are your hosts, Andy Billman and Jarid Watson.
Hello and welcome, Andy and Jarid, Cleveland and beyond. He's Andy Billman, I'm Jarid Watson, and this is an impromptu episode because we weren't expecting this announcement to happen before finding out when the Cavs would actually make their draft pick.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
We thought we would have the lottery, and then the Cavs would hire a coach. Andy, it didn't work out that way. Head coach, University of Michigan, John Beilein, coming to the Cleveland Cavaliers on a 5-year deal. No money as of yet with this news. And when we hear 5 years, I think a lot of people right off the bat, the first thing is they're going to say, who's the last coach that lasted 5 years with the Cavs? I believe it wasn't it Brown? And is John Beilein going to last that 5 years, including for the fact that he's turning 70 here soon? And I think that some folks are worried about that too. What do you say about that?
Okay, well, first of all, out of all the names that have been passed around, how could you not be thrilled with John Beilein?
Yes.
A really, really well-known coach, has coached at every level. He's older, but as I've learned, and I think you know everybody's learned, the 65 is the new 55, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. Meaning, like, he's not that old comparative to what 65 was 20 years ago. So I don't look at 65 as that anymore. Nick Saban's going in that age range, and he's doing fine. So
right.
I don't look
we can throw that out the window, right?
So the age thing means nothing to me.
Good.
I think this is a very, very good hire. A, the Cavs are a younger team. Mm-hmm. B, Beilein's going to hustle and try his best to do the best thing possible. C, it brings a splash. I think the Cavs need a splash.
And we've heard it was going to be a splash, and here it is.
And it was, and here it is. And D, I think the bigger thing is it's going to really provide an opportunity for the Cavs to maybe groom someone to be the replacement in 5 to 10 years down the road. And I like that. And that's something that the Cavs need to start doing, is establishing a base, Jarid, where they're not just having one coach in, but maybe they're turning over more coaches from here on out. I would hope that would be the case here. We'll have to see as time goes on whether Gilbert can stick with a coach now. And in fairness, for how much I support Gilbert at times, he has not been the best when it comes to keeping coaches around. But this is the kind of guy, if you build it correctly and you build the right system, Jarid, you can get assistants coming in and out, and you can really build a system there in Cleveland. I think Beilein will do great with Colin Sexton. I think he'll do good with other players. The Cavs are going to be a younger team. I think this makes a whole lot of sense. I just think it does. The Cavs are not going to get a big name free agent here in the next couple of years. To get a big name free agent coach, yes, that's a success.
Well, let's talk about this. Now, they won't get a big name free agent, but they might be able to do some wheeling and dealing coming up with some of the players that they've got on that team right now. Although I will say I really hope that Kevin Love sticks around. Obviously, I love the development of Colin Sexton later on in the season. Jumping back, though, to John Beilein's hiring here with the Cavs, and you were talking about Dan Gilbert not having a reputation for sticking with coaches for very long. Part of that, now I'm going to do my A, B, C, D. Part of that had to do with the back and forth with LeBron. LeBron was here, LeBron was gone, LeBron's here again. So there's obviously going to be shuffling that goes on because of that. And B, I don't think John would have left a situation at the University of Michigan. Oh, I felt dirty saying it. That team up north, if he didn't get some sort of guarantee, at least handshake. Look, when I say 5 years, I mean 5 years. We'll both have the option to feel this out, but I don't see John leaving team up north to come and coach this team unless he had some sort of guarantee that he wouldn't lose the job.
Yeah, well, he's going to get, I'll never say that, but he's going to get paid for 5 years. That is
right.
I will say this too. I think in the structure of, I guess we should go to college basketball now. This is a big shakeup in college basketball.
Yeah, it's huge. This is a team that has competed for multiple years in a row and got to the end,
And with the way the Big Ten was looking with Fred Hoiberg, who's a great college coach coming to Nebraska, The Big Ten was really going to be eye to eye with the ACC for years to come. It's going to be those two conferences. The SEC's up and coming too, and they're doing much better. But really, Jared, the Big Ten was going to be coming tough in and out. And I just wondered to a point, John, after getting thrashed by Texas Tech, he's not going to get another opportunity to coach an NBA. This is his last chance. I think he took the right opportunity here. And in the other sense, too, for college basketball, it's a grind. It is a long grind. Not that the NBA is not, but Jared, to be out there recruiting every day, to be going up against Izzo, Painter, now Hoiberg, to go up against the Buckeyes, it's a lot. And the thing is, I'm sure there comes a point with Beilein where he goes, do I really want to go through these recruiting battles again and really structure this? Or do I want to take a chance, finish my career, get paid well, and see if I can make it work in Cleveland?
Well, but we can also talk about this then. He's got to spend the time recruiting. Now he doesn't have to worry about that. Is there a real comparison between, a shorter 30 or so game season in the NCAA, yet he's still got to do year-round recruiting compared to, 90 games in the NBA and the rigors of a full season plus possible playoff games in the NBA? What's the trade-off?
Different challenges.
Yeah, they're completely different. But in the way that he runs the system, we're looking at a team that's not going to have, like you said, the big free agent. So there's not going to be any of that ISO ball. There's not going to be a lot of that. This is really going to come down to a team effort. And from what they're going to need to do. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No, you're good.
What they're going to need to do is take what Brad Stevens did 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, Brad Stevens with all his assets.
Well, that's when they had assets. They don't have assets anymore. They're losing games. All right. Assets is for the previous podcast. Go to the previous podcast. I'll let you know about my asset feelings. All right. They're a bunch of asses is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what their assets is. All right. But when it comes to Stevens, what he did in the Celtics, he proved you can win at a bottom level. And what I mean by that is a 6, 7, 8 seed. Okay.
Yeah.
What Beilein does not guarantee, which I'm not naive about, which I'm okay about, is instant success or big time success.
Right.
I would never feel that with Beilein. I never feel that from day one. I won't feel that months from now. But it gives me hope. Jared, that's why I like this move. Beilein gives it hope. It gives it a plan. And I like that. And the Cavs, we mentioned this at the last podcast when the season ended. Well, not this last podcast, sorry, when the season ended for the Cavs. This gives the Cavs hope. And I like that.
I have to address this too. When we talk about giving the Cavs hope, I don't notice, at least I didn't feel like I noticed, a lot of desperation out of the organization throughout the year. I think that this was a season of taking a breath, knowing they were taking a step back and going forward. I saw some reaction on social media and had to counter some of it where there's clue. This is what I love is that when you get armchair analysis and people calling the Cavs a dumpster fire and John Beilein going to a dumpster fire. The Cavs were never a dumpster fire. The Cavs were just depleted of talent.
Yes.
Their guys look, it was the end of a short era. We really didn't know that it was coming, although towards the last, halfway through the last season, you had a feeling LeBron's not coming back. But you didn't initially think that this was how it was going to end. So to call the Cavs a dumpster fire, to act like there's no plan forward, this is clearly a step in the right direction, and we'll see what happens. For anyone listening, we're recording this the day before. Tomorrow they're gonna draft their lottery
that'll
selection.
be part 2. Lottery ball. We'll see
the
what
lottery ball tomorrow.
Draft.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
so we'll find that out. But I mean,
this gives it a plan.
I said, look, I'm not saying they're going to go far, but does Zion and Beilein and a plan forward move them into the 8th seed within a year or two? Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it does.
Right. And that's where we're going to have to see how this works out. Is this Billy Donovan and Coach Stevens, where you've seen some good success? Or is this Jerry Tarkanian and Rick Pitino back in Boston, where it really fell flat? We're going to find out, Jared.
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
You can pull all sorts of examples out. You can pull all sorts of remedies out. The one thing, again, I will say, you can't guarantee instant success or big-time success. But I do think this is a plan. That's why people are probably bothered by it. But they should not be bothered by it because there's no plan. Well, that's the opposite. A plan's been put in place today. This is a plan. And moving forward, they actually have things now where you know where they're going and you know how this is going to work.
What I also like is this isn't a guy who has to treat people like garbage to get the best out of them.
That's right.
Do I even start saying some of those names in college basketball? You already know who they are.
Well, yeah.
He's not. He's a guy that people love to play for. Love to play for. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about people playing on John Beilein's teams. There's no griping over minutes that they're not getting. There's no these are people that just genuinely love to play for the guy. And to be honest, you know what it sounds like, Andy? It sounds a lot like Freddie Kitchens' mentality. In understanding how to read people and how to treat people and how to motivate them without putting the fear of God in them, I guess. I don't know. There's just a style. It's a style of leadership that is very successful when done right, but not everyone knows how to do it because not everyone is as comfortable in their own skin, I think, is what it comes down to, as some of these guys are proving to be.
Well, to your point, Freddie Kitchens, Brad Stevens, both those are good comparisons. Because that's basically what you're getting here. You're going to get a guy who has a system who, I can't say this for Freddie, we don't know what Freddie is, but for Stevens' case, I think there is a good comparison. Maximizing players' ability. Yeah. Now, this was the first year, let's forget Stevens this year, for example, but in past years, Stevens did that. He got the maximizing ability from every player in the Celtics. I think that's what you'll get here from Beilein. I would not be surprised if things go either way with him, meaning he keeps the loves, he keeps a couple of other guys. I could see him doing the opposite. But Beilein is a guy who'll be very amenable to working with the vets and helping out the young players. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to really matter across the board. But again, I think the big thing about this, which I really wanted from the Cavs, which I'm getting, a clear direction, and I like that.
Andy,
you need direction and you need a plan, and we got that today through Beilein. I know what to expect now. That's good.
What's the worst case scenario with this move?
Well, where we are now, and by the way, we're already here, so what the heck? I mean, you might as well try. I mean, again, that's why, like, on something like this, I think people got to really, really keep in mind something. I know, Jared, I don't want to speak for you, but we're not guaranteeing big victories or playoff runs. What I'm guaranteeing is a plan, an opportunity to do those things. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll find out. Yeah. I think it will. And I think there's a chance, but I'm also realistic to the point to know it could really fall flat. They could lose a lot of games, but the Cavs don't have many quick fix options. And here's a way to build your team the right way, getting some energy into the city and getting some energy behind the team and doing it the right way.
I think that we've talked about this in the past where the league has turned into a basically they cultivate their own coaches through the assistant coaches through each one of these teams. It wasn't always that way. We used to pilfer the NCAA and pull coaches away and they would become NBA coaches. But the way that coaching staffs are set up now in the NBA, it's just meant to be that farm system where these assistant coaches are eventually reach a point where they get their own team and they're the new head coach. So this is a step away from what's become the norm in the NBA. But I feel that the assembly of this team, when you're looking at the young guys, when you're looking at the Jordan Clarksons, the Larry Nance Jr.'s, the Colin Sextons, a lot of these other guys on the team, these are guys that are willing to listen, that are willing to learn, and that are willing to play with each other. This isn't a team full of egos. Even the guys that could have egos on this team that are the veterans, even Tristan Thompson, who likely won't be here much longer, has been a guy who can listen at times. And we know Kevin Love is there to be a team player. And he wouldn't have signed the contract if he didn't want to stick around and didn't love Cleveland as much as he does. So there is an opportunity with the way that this team is assembled right now to add a few pieces, develop the way that this team operates together, instill Beilein's system with this team and see what they could do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting big things next year. Mm-hmm. I'm not expecting big things in 2 years, but I think we're on the way for that in maybe 4 to 5 years. And Jared, that's good. I didn't feel that way before today.
No. Yeah.
I now feel that way, and I think that's a good thing. So I think it's a big positive. For people who aren't positive about it, I'm kind of perplexed because I don't know what you want the Cavs to do. Did you want a Monte Williams? Did you want some other players? I mean, some other coaches like that? I guess I'd be fine with that. But Beilein's a good opportunity to do something unique, do something that has worked in Boston with Stevens. So why not try it in Cleveland? Why not?
And we can also say this, Andy. Let's say they catch a little lightning in the bottle. Let's say Zion, let's just say, best case scenario now. Best case scenario, you bring Zion in. He turns out to be the leader you're hoping him to be in about a year or two, right? You've got Colin Sexton. They turn into a duo. Kevin Love's still there. You're looking around at some of the pieces. Dan Gilbert is not afraid to spend.
No, he's never. That's not
right. I mean, they're not. I know that they're not. Look, I haven't even looked, but salary cap issues, none of that stuff matters. If
Cavs have cleared their books,
exactly. And even if they were to load up on contracts for some odd reason, we all know damn well Dan Gilbert will spend the money if there's a Larry O'Brien waiting for him at the end of that tunnel. Period.
He is definitely he definitely has a George Steinbrenian personality. Yeah. And he definitely has a George Steinbrenner ways. And I think, to your point, Gilbert will do that when the time is necessary. Yes. Now, I don't think it's going to be in this offseason, and nor should it be.
No.
I think the Cavs need to keep doing what they're doing. And I'll actually give another scenario. Even if the Cavs pick 4th, 5th, or 6th, which is in play too, I feel better knowing Beilein's there to help out that young person, whoever it is, rather than I would be in some other situations. I'm just being honest. It's nothing against these other coaching names that are in there. So I think it's a good opportunity. Yeah. I think it's also a good opportunity, too, to get some fresh eyes on this roster and really start picking through, hey, I do see a place for Knight. Hey, I do see a place for Larry Nance Jr., and here's where I see it for. Hey, here's what sex, like, we need someone like that. I think Beilein will help it out with that. And again, I'm not saying those other names wouldn't, but I think he can help out there. And I think he'll be enthusiastic about it. So I think all those are positives. Again, the one thing I won't guarantee again is a big win, big ticket things. I don't know if that's the case here. It could fall flat. It could, but I don't think it will, but it could. It's in play for sure.
Andy, give me one word to sum up this hire.
Exciting. Hope. I'll give you 2. Exciting and hope.
I'm going to go with relieved.
That too.
I'm relieved because there's the opportunity where I got to be honest with you. We don't, knowing that Dan Gilbert will, he very much likes to be an owner that is heard and seen in certain scenarios and doesn't always make the decisions that we're happy with. Griff. But I'm relieved that he made a move like this. I'm relieved that, we don't have to worry about speculation. There's certain things that are up in the air, but on paper, God knows we love on paper lately in Cleveland. This is a smart hire, and this will give us a little bit of time to let things flesh out, especially during a period where there's not a ton of big competition in the NBA. We know that everything is talent-wise is heavily tilted towards the West, and that one of those teams basically has all the talent. And until that changes, why not? Why not develop what you can and be ready for when that inevitable happens, which is the dismantling of the Warriors, a rebalancing of the talent within the league, whatever other adjustments happen over the next couple of years. This could play out to be the catalyst for a team that is looking to come back after losing the greatest player of all time playing on their team. I think they're in a good spot right now.
They're in a good spot. The dismantling of the Warriors, I think we're 10 years away from that. But yes.
Jesus Lord.
We are. But yes, I think it's a very good hire.
Did you just say 10, a decade, Andy?
It's going to be a while. I think it's going to be 5+.
Really?
I hope I'm wrong. Clay and Curry and Green, all those guys are not going to
I don't know. I've heard issues with Iguodala. I know Kevin Durant wants to leave.
We'll see. We'll see. That's for another podcast.
Thanks for pissing on my...
No, I didn't piss. I'm just being honest. I'm the reality sunshine. I hope I'm wrong, but I just think the Warriors will be around. That doesn't mean the Warriors are going to win championships every year, but I think they're going to be around. All right, real quickly, Oscar Mercado coming up is a good thing.
Cleveland Indians.
I was glad to see that from the Indians today.
Yeah.
They needed to do that. I don't know what they were waiting for even this long. Obviously, they started picking up the news clippings too and said maybe we should move them up. The Indians are currently, I'm actually in Cleveland tonight, and ironically, I'm in another hotel room where I can't watch the Indians. That's for another podcast too. I don't know what it is with hotels in Cleveland. You can't get the Indians game.
I don't know.
And
Hotel bar still open? Maybe that's why.
No, there's empty. I'm too tired to go down there. I'll just listen to
That's
it.
what you get for staying in a Holiday Inn Express.
Radisson, thank you.
I'm kidding.
Very nice hotel. Did not find my points membership, but that's for another day too. But I 3-2 right now. Still, Chai Sox said. But I think it's a good thing that the Indians did that. They need to give some sort of energy. Look, Roberto Perez's home run yesterday was huge. The Indians really, really needed that. They need more of those kind of contributions. We didn't talk about this yet, but there is one alarming stat that I'll end on. We are 40 games in, and the Indians have not hit a triple this year.
Can we also talk about another strange stat? The Indians have 2 runs tonight and 1 hit.
Indians baseball.
That in itself is a miracle.
Indians baseball. Look, Oscar Mercado is a long time coming. Again, it is so weird. The Indians are built so well if they can just get to the postseason in a one way because they have pitching and they have a closer and they have good 1 or 2 setup men. They're there. They just got to find a way to get in. That might be my new slogan. They got to find a way to get in October.
It's going to be dirty all season like this. It's going to be dirty. It just is. It is just it's going to be a grind, Andy. A grind.
Really I agree with you.
120 more games of grind.
By the way, I agree with you. I think there's going to be a lot of singles. And this whole thing, we all need to wait till Memorial Day, but it is May 13th. We're halfway home.
I'd take one bat. I'd take one bat for power. I mean,
it's amazing the Indians have not hit a triple this year. That's amazing. The Royals have hit, I believe,
Nate
20
hitting
plus.
in the park home run, didn't he? It was an error, though.
That was an error. That was all sorts of errors. That was little league stuff. But the Indians really need more power. They really need more hitting, so I think that was a good thing. The other thing, too, that's kind of come out today, which Jared knows I can't talk much about, but I was bringing up.
Cleveland Browns.
It has been reported and been seen. He was not when I was there. Odell Beckham is in the house. He's somewhere in Cleveland. He's ready to go for tomorrow. We'll see. I heard all sorts of mixed reports about this. I actually got to admit, I think this has gotten a little ridiculous, but okay.
Yeah.
So it's being speculated, whatever else. I really hope for everyone's sake that he does show up tomorrow so this story will go away. So I don't find it very interesting. So we'll hope that happens. Honestly, outside of that, Baker Mayfield looks to be riding Cedar Point rides. I will warn everybody if Odell Beckham is not showing up tomorrow, it's going to make news. So,
well, it already did, and the way that it was written up today in a very prominent Cleveland print media company, it was written in a way that was still kind of down on attitude in regard to him not being at OTAs. And look, Andy, I can't deal with this negativity when there's just, in the same way that we can't sit here and hype up the fact that they should win 12 games this season, which, by the way, I'm still calling that. I don't care who's deviated. I know there are other people that have pulled back the reins a little bit on some of this. I'm not. I'm still calling 12 wins. But if we're not allowed to be as hyped as we are, then we're not allowed to bitch and moan over things that, look, this needs to stop. It's just as bad on the other side, complaining about whether he's there, whether he's not. Yeah. Odell Beckham watch 2019. Like, can we not do this? Can we not do this? It's corny. It's corny. Let them start their practices.
The only thing I'll say, today was the first day. Is I saw it building where I was like, I didn't realize how stressful this was going to become again. Because I thought today would be pretty much a dull day before the lottery, but a lot of people talking about it as I was driving in today. A lot of people talking about it. So it's obviously a big topic. I really do. I'll say this. Not only am I interested to see if he shows up now and again, I don't care either way, but I'm interested just for the reaction wise. The other thing too, now it's being reported, by the way, 5 hours ago that he is back at the Browns facility on the eve. So I mean,
exactly.
Sounds like he's ready to go, which I'm not surprised.
Exactly, but that's my point. Andy, I just wanted to say that when I talk about corny, I'm talking about corny in a sense of reporting where we're just attributing this manufactured anger that we love to do during this in the social media era. Anyways, this manufactured, thing to piss and moan about. That this non-problem that seems to just be a problem because it gets clicks and it gets eyes and it gets ears.
Well, and by the way, that is a big problem. I'm not going to disagree with what Jared Watson just said. That is a big problem. Because Odell Beckham just not gets you local clicks, it's going to get you national clicks. So it's definitely a big deal. It's a big item when it comes to that. I think the interesting thing will be, I'll spin it to this. If he does show up, what's the next story? Because I don't know what the next story is.
Catches,
by the way, which is fine. I don't want to know about catches. And if they start doing that, I'm going.
He caught a couple one-handed catches in true Odell Beckham fashion.
He was limping back to the pile. Oh no, he was picking up his pen off the ground. I mean, that's what we're gonna start doing here. So,
that's
all right, I'll stop right there. That's
what's gonna happen. We're gonna know what kind of haircut he's got.
We're
gonna know the color of his underwear. We're gonna hear it all. We're gonna hear it all, Andy.
All right. Well. I will say this. I'm very excited about the John Beilein hire. Does not mean success, but I think it's a right move. I think it's a great plan moving forward. Oscar Mercado, thank God you're up. Can't wait to see you. Odell Beckham sounds like he's going to be there tomorrow for OTAs. That's a good thing. The next time we do a podcast will be for the lottery. I'm interested to see where the Cavs pick, as everybody is. The one thing that we should all keep in mind, you could be drafting as high as 1. I think the lowest the Cavs can go is 6 or 7. So that is a wide range here. So we'll have to see where the Cavs land. I've started to really come around to this. I'm not going to get disappointed if it's not the first 2. I'm just going to try to figure out who those picks are and let the Cavs do what they can do.
Follow us on Twitter at CLE and Beyond, on Facebook, facebook.com/Andy Cleveland and Beyond, rather. God bless. Don't do the other one. I don't know where you're lined up. AndyandJared.com, ClevelandandBeyond.net. Lord knows, you accidentally type in the wrong web address and you're either on some crazy Chinese website where you can buy, I don't know, crazy stuff or something adult related, right? I don't know. That's just how that happens. It was an accident, I swear, honey. Anyway. AndyandJared.com, ClevelandandBeyond.net. That's where you can listen to the podcast. Also, follow us on iTunes, Google. What is the Google one? See, I don't even know anymore. It is late. It's late on a Monday. And,
Mabel's has hit me.
I don't care. If you can't find our podcast at this point, then I don't know how you're listening to it.
We will have a big announcement on the podcast, maybe later this week, early next. We were supposed to do it today, but we had to get a delay or two, which is fine. That happens. That's called life. So no big deal, but we're excited about our next steps. Beilein good. Lottery next. Oscar Mercado, yay. OTA sounds like Beckham's going to be there.
He's Andy Billman. I'm Jared Watson. Andy and Jared, Cleveland and Beyond. Talk again soon. Go Cavs.